Hello students. Today we will continue with our lesson number 3 of geography, mineral and power resources. As we have already discussed mineral in the Zoom class, today I will take up power resources. In this we will be learning about conventional and non-conventional type of resources. Power resources. Students, as all of us know that energy plays a vital role in our life. We need energy to keep ourselves active. We need food for gaining energy. Even we need energy to cook our food. We need energy also to run the economy of our country. Developed countries, they are using energy in so many things like information technology, transportation, agriculture, garbage collections, and human communication. There are two types of power resources available: conventional resources and non-conventional resources. Conventional resources are the resources which we are using since long time. These are exhaustible, and non-conventional resources are inexhaustible. Let us learn about it in detail about these two types of resources. So let us start with conventional sources of energy. Students, these sources of energy are exhaustible and non-renewable. So we should use these sources of energy very carefully. First of all, let us talk about most commonly used conventional source of energy, that is firewood. All of you must have seen firewood means log of wood are used. If you see in your villages, these are used in earthen stoves to cook food. And even in the cities, whenever there is cold season, this wood is used to produce heat, to get warmth. Maybe sometimes you must have watched walking roadside during winters at night time. People they produce heat with the help of the branches of the trees, soft trees, and they take warmth of that. So this is most commonly used conventional source of energy, and mostly it is used in rural areas. So students, let us learn about fossil fuels. First of all, we should know what are fossil fuels. Fossil fuels actually are the remains of plants and animals which are buried under the earth for a long period of time. And this long period of time is not 1 2 years. This is millions of years. They are affected by the pressure and temperature. When they are buried under the earth, they are naturally experiencing pressure and change of temperature under the earth. And with this, they take the form of the fossil fuels. Most commonly used fossil fuels are coal, petroleum, and natural gas. The reserves of these minerals are limited. Means once they are exhausted, it is difficult to get them again, as it is taking long period of time to form. So students, we should use these fossil fuels very carefully. Coal. Now let us learn about coal. Coal is the most commonly found and used fossil fuel. Now what is a coal? It is a hard rock. It is basically used for cooking, heating, and it is also used for generating electricity. The electricity we are getting with the help of coal is known as thermal power. We have so many thermal power stations in India. Vindhyachal Thermal Power Station, Madhya Pradesh is the biggest thermal power station. Now how we are getting this coal? As this is a fossil fuel, we are getting it from the remains of plants and animals which are buried under the earth for millions of years. That's why this is also known as buried sunshine. Other name of coal is buried sunshine. The largest producer of coal in India are Raniganj, Jharia, Dhanbad, and Bokaro in Jharkhand. You know students, the petrol that keeps your car running as well as the oil, that keeps your cycle from squeaking. Both began as a thick black liquid called petroleum. And where do we find it? It is found between the layers of rocks and is drilled from oil fields, which are located in offshore and coastal areas. After that, this crude oil is sent to refineries, which process this and produce a variety of products like diesel, petrol, kerosene, wax, plastics, and lubricants. And the other name for petroleum is black gold. Why is it called black gold? Because it is very expensive. The leading producers of petroleum in India are Digboi in Assam, Bombay High in Mumbai, and the deltas of Krishna and Godavari rivers. Natural gas is found with petroleum deposits and is released when crude oil is brought to the surface. Means when we are extracting crude oil from the earth's surface, and after that it is sent to refineries for processing. We are getting so many things, so many energy resources. One of the energy resources, gas. It can be used as a domestic fuel as well as industrial fuel. Domestic fuels means at home you can see that for cooking we are using gas. It can be used in vehicles also. It is actually used in the form of LPG, CNG, PNG. All these terms are familiar to you. You must be knowing about these terms. In India, Jaisalmer, Krishna Godavari Delta, Tripura and some areas offshore in Mumbai have natural gas resources. Now what is hydel power? Hydel power is electricity generated through water. Students, you must have seen dams. One dam we have in Silvas also, that is Madhuban Dam. You must have visited there. And you must have seen how water is stored in a reservoir. It can be rainwater or it can be river water. After that, that water is released with a force. And this water, it travels through the pipes which are located under the dam. And it helps the energy from the water, it helps the turbine blades to move. The moving blades then turn the generator to produce electricity. This is how hydel power is produced. And the water discharged after the generation of electricity, that is not wasted, that is also used. It is used for irrigation. So 1/4 of the world's electricity is produced by hydel power. Some important hydel power stations in India are Bhakra Nangal, Gandhi Sagar, Nagarjun Sagar and Damodar Valley project. Students, let us talk about non-conventional sources of energy. These are renewable sources of energy. First of all, let us learn about solar energy. Now, what is a solar energy? As you can see in the picture, energy from the sun is being trapped into the solar panels, which is further used to produce electricity. This solar panel is made up of different cells. You know, students, solar energy is a blessing for tropical countries. Why? As they are receiving sun radiation throughout the year. So India is also a tropical country, and solar power here is also developing very fast, as it is also receiving solar radiation almost throughout the year. So because of India's ideal geographical location, generation of solar energy has tremendous scope. And in India, Karnataka tops the list of states in production of solar energy. And there are several other uses of solar energy also, as these can be used in solar heaters, solar cookers, solar dryers, and also used for community lighting and traffic signals. Now, what is wind energy? As the name suggests itself, the energy produced from high-speed wind is known as wind energy. As you can see in the picture, these windmill turbines or blades, they capture energy from the high-speed winds and they change it into some mechanical power. And later on, that power is used for various purposes, maybe grinding grains, pumping water, or it is also used to produce electricity from generator. But students, India's wind energy sector is still struggling as the government gives more attention to solar power. And all of us know wind is an inexhaustible source of energy. In India, Tamil Nadu tops the list of the states with the largest installed wind power plant in the country. Now, what is nuclear power? Nuclear power is the use of nuclear reactions that release nuclear energy to generate heat, and which most frequently is then used in steam turbines to produce electricity in a nuclear power plant. You can get this with the help of nuclear fission, that means division of atom. Now, what is this steam turbine? Students, you will be listening to this term in almost all the energy producing plants. Turbine actually is a machine or an engine that receives the power from a wheel that is turned by the pressure of water, air or gas, that you can see in wind energy, tidal energy, hydel power also. In all these things you can see that in wind energy it is moved by the pressure of air, in hydel energy the pressure of water, in biogas plant with the pressure of gas. The nuclear power stations in India are located in Kalpakkam in Tamil Nadu, Tarapur in Maharashtra, Rana Pratap Sagar near Kota in Rajasthan, Narora in Uttar Pradesh and Kaiga in Karnataka. Now, what is geothermal energy? Geothermal energy is reserved inside the earth. This is heat energy obtained from the earth. Students, recall the structure of the earth. As we go inside the earth, temperature steadily rises, and sometimes because of this heat, natural hot springs are produced. This heat energy we can use to produce power also. Now, these hot springs can be used for cooking, heating and bathing. USA has the largest geothermal power plant, and in India, geothermal plants are located in Manikaran in Himachal Pradesh and Puga Valley in Ladakh. Tidal energy. Again, the name suggests itself. Energy produced by tides is known as tidal energy. Tidal energy generators are set up under the sea water where high tides are predicted. During high tide, the energy of the tides is used to turn the turbine installed in the dam to produce electricity. Although not yet widely used, tidal energy has the potential for future electricity generation. Moreover, tides are more predictable than the wind and sun. Russia, France and the Gulf of Kutch in India have huge tidal mill farms. So students, let us see what is biogas. Organic waste, like nowadays you are seeing that we are segregating the garbage. Green waste in different container and dry waste in different container. So the organic waste means dead plants, animal materials, animal dung or kitchen waste. It can be converted into a gaseous fuel that is known as biogas. It can be produced from raw materials like agricultural waste, kitchen waste, animal dung or sewage. All this waste is decomposed or fermented in the absence of oxygen in biogas digesters, as you can see in the picture, to produce biogas. It primarily consists of methane and carbon dioxide. Students, biogas is an excellent fuel for cooking and lighting, and it also produces huge amount of organic manure each So students, our session ends here, but many more sessions to come, and we need a lot of energy for those sessions. So use your energy wisely. As it is correctly said, energy saved is energy generated. Thank you. Have a nice day.